Hello and welcome back to another video. Today going to be going through 13 new British cars I would love to see in Forza Horizon 5 or in any future Forza game. Kicking things off with the brand new Aston Martin V12 Vantage. I absolutely love the previous generation of these, especially after it being the subject of the most beautiful car review of all time on old Top Gear. This is of course the all-new version of Aston's baby car with Aston's biggest engine. Continuing on the theme of V12 Aston Martins, the next car on the list is the V12 Speedster. Similar to the first car in many ways, apart from being way more exclusive and expensive and having literally no roof at all. The third and final Aston on the list, the Valkyrie. We already have the softer, slower Valhalla in the game, which is already insanely fast, so just imagine what this thing would be like. Even if it isn't technically road legal, but then nor are several other cars that we already have in Forza. Next up is the GMA T50, Gordon Murray Automotive's amazing V12 powered 3-seat manual fan car. And if that doesn't warrant it being added alone, in reality this thing sounds absolutely insane too, and I just hope if it did get added that Forza wouldn't just copy and paste the sound as they do with so many other vehicles. Sticking with GMA, their latest creation, the T33, based around the same engine but with a more traditional 2-seat layout and generally slightly more usability, but still sounding just as good. Moving on to Jag, with the F-Type SVR, which is probably the oldest car on this list by quite a way, but I still don't really understand why it hasn't been added to anything yet. We've had the F-Type R and the Project 7, but never the SVR, which is probably the one you would actually want. Same with the second Jag on the list. It's not quite as old, but the XE Project 8, which has also been around for a fair while, is an amazing track-focused saloon rivaling the M4 GTS and things along those lines, except being even wilder. Next up, the Lotus Emira, Lotus's replacement for the Elise. Even if it isn't really, it's more of an Evora equivalent, being bigger, more comfortable, more usable. It is though still a fantastic looking car, and everyone who's driven it, in reality, says it's as brilliant to drive as the Elise was. If this was added, it would be a DRS car in a future month for sure. Sticking with Lotus, the all-new Electra SUV. Yes, I want a Lotus that is electric and an SUV added. It could rival the Jaguar I-Pace, although I think it would probably outperform that quite dramatically, and sit alongside the Lotus Evija, which would be excellent to see. On to McLaren with the all-new Artura, their new 6-cylinder entry-level supercar, if we can call it that, reasonably priced compared to its Italian rivals, and probably better to drive than those, and it won't mess up its pit strategies. The second McLaren on the list is the Elva, another pointless car with literally no roof at all, in reality anyway, much like the V12 Speedster, but this is the only mid-engined one, unless you count the Aventador J, but that's not really a production car, and a car with no roof doesn't really matter in a Forza game. We finished the list with a couple of Morgans. The Plus 4 CXT is probably my favourite car on this list, just because of how mad and different it is. It's essentially Morgan's answer to the aerial Nomad, being designed for skipping across dunes and sliding around on narrow, gravelly tracks. And finally, the Morgan Super 3, the all-new 3-wheeled Morgan, which could in fact replace the Morgan 3-wheeler currently in the game. So there we go, that is going to do it for a list of 13 new British cars that I would like to see in Forza Horizon 5 or in future Forza titles. As ever, do let me know what you think of the list. Is there anything on there that you think doesn't deserve a place? Is there anything you think I've missed out that should be on the list? And do let me know if you like this style of video, because I do like making these wish lists. But for now, for today's video, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.